In today's show, Bitcoin price snaps back after its longest losing streak in history. In today's show, I'll be sharing the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. As pointed out here, we just had the first green weekly candle in 9 weeks. It's about time. And as Crypto Capo shares here, prices basically ranging between $29,000 and $31,000. Every move up is corrective, and data shows that the bulls are being trapped. We might see a scam pump to $30,700 to $31,500, but the bearish main targets are still very likely. And quoting Rec Capital, Bitcoin now at $32,000 resistance, flip it into support, and Bitcoin could revisit the $35,000 level. These are the levels to watch out for in the short term. And as Dan Held shares here, in 2013, Bitcoin crashed to $30. In 2015, Bitcoin crashed to $300. In 2018, Bitcoin crashed to $3,000. And in 2022, Bitcoin crashed to $30,000. So if this pattern persists, then by 2025, 2026, we can see a 10x Bitcoin price at $300,000. And this just in breaking news, miner Hut 8 now holds 7,078 BTC, worth over $222 million. And it's keeping 100% of that Bitcoin that it mines. Also in today's show, ARK Invest Cathie Wood says big upside volatility coming for Bitcoin as on-chain data flashes green for the King Crypto. That's right, ARK Invest founder Cathie Wood is predicting a big upswing for the King Crypto as Bitcoin's on-chain metrics flash bullish signals. She goes on to share that the on-chain metrics suggest that Bitcoin is in the process of carving a bottom. Also in today's show, Bitcoin will hit $100,000 when the bear market ends, these analysts predict, which includes Mike McGlone. Quoting him here, I expect Bitcoin to be the first asset to resume its outperformance trajectory. We also have Deutsche Bank survey, which shows the Bitcoin price hitting 6 figures, as well as Goldman Sachs, as well as Antonio Trenchev. Now also in today's show, Fidelity'S macro chief modifies the stock-to-flow model and predicts $140,000 Bitcoin price by 2025. That's right, Jurrien Timmer, director of global macro at asset management firm Fidelity, recently shared a modified version of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, dubbed the S-curve model, and using the model, he predicted that Bitcoin's price would reach $144,000 within the next 3 years. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, all the major cryptos currently pumping and in the green, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, Crypto fam? Holla at your boy in the live chat. Now, 10th time's the charm for the Bitcoin Weekly. It's been a long time coming, but Bitcoin has finally closed out a green week. On the weekly chart, Bitcoin has spent 9 weeks making progressively lower weekly closes, a trend which began in late March and ended up being its longest ever in Bitcoin's history. On June 5th, however, the bears had no chance. Bitcoin hit $29,900 before the new week began, this being approximately $450 higher than the previous week's closing price. And that event sparked several hours of upside, with local highs totaling $31,500 at the time of this recording, Bitcoin's best performance since June 1st. And checking out this tweet by Material Indicators on the weekly candle close, trend precognition printed a long signal on the Bitcoin weekly chart, looking for a higher high on the weekly to confirm a breakout. If Bitcoin rallies, key moving averages should act as technical resistance. And while some celebrated Bitcoin's newfound strength, other analysts remain firmly cool on the prospects of a more substantial rally. Quoting crypto analyst Mikhail Vendepop, still expecting this to be happening on Bitcoin. A drop towards the CME gap at 29,000 would make a lot of sense before short reversal towards $31,500. And a look at the order book data reinforces the friction that the bulls are likely to face in the event of a continued breakout. As Crypto Capo shares here, prices basically ranging between $29,000 and $31,000. That's below the main pivot. Every move up is corrective, and data shows that the bulls are being trapped. Might see a scam pump to $30,700 to $31,500, but the bearish main targets are still very likely. And quoting Income Sharks, having a plan is more important than guessing the correct direction. I think we drop, then go up, so I'll be longing if this happens. If stocks open up green, we could see a rally, and I'd pivot to alts to ride them up. TP level is at $34,000 for now. Now for the next factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market. That's U.S. inflation is at its highest since the early 1980s, but will it continue is the million-dollar question. The market will find out this week as June 10th sees the release of Consumer Price Index data for May. The question for many is how much higher can it go as the aftermath of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and its impact on the global trade and supply chains continues to play out. And quoting market strategist Saxo Capital Markets, we do expect that the drawdown in the equity markets still has some room to go. Now for the third factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market. Miner capitulation is very close. That's right, despite weeks of lower prices endangering their cost basis, Bitcoin miners have so far held off from significant distribution of coins. This may soon change, new analysis argues, sparking what has historically accompanied generational Bitcoin price bottoms. Quoting Charles Edwards of Capriole Investments, hash ribbon miner capitulation is very close. Bitcoin mining profit margins are getting squeezed. Reminder, this is not a sell signal. The end of the capitulation period has historically set up some of the best long-term buys for Bitcoin. Let's go. Now for the fourth factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market. Fundamentals, echo miner calm. That's right, fluctuations in miner participation will have palpable effect on Bitcoin's hash rate and network difficulty. Thus far, the hash rate has remained stable above 200 exahashes per second, according to estimates, indicating that miners, for the most part, remain active and have not decreased activity over cost concerns. Now, data covering Bitcoin's network difficulty likewise presents a calm, short-term picture. Quoting Robert Breedlove, more likely is the continued mobilization of many million entrepreneurs worldwide to satisfy Bitcoin's need for energy, as we see in the growth of its hash rate. Today, Bitcoin is roughly 50% cheaper, yet 20% stronger than a year ago. Now for the fifth and final factor to keep your eyes out on this week in the Bitcoin market. Mega whales show promising sign. That's right, in terms of putting their money where their mouth is, Bitcoin's biggest investors could be showing the way this month. As noted by sentiment monitoring firm Santiment, entities controlling 1,000 BTC or more now own more than the Bitcoin supply than any point in the past year. As they share here, the mega whale addresses of Bitcoin, comprised partially of exchange addresses, own their highest supply of Bitcoin in a year. We often analyze the 100 to 10,000 Bitcoin addresses for alpha, but accumulation from this high tier can still be a promising sign. And as Dan Held shared here, in 2013, Bitcoin crashed to $30. In 2015, Bitcoin crashed to $300. In 2018, Bitcoin crashed to $3,000. In 2022, Bitcoin crashed to $30,000. Do you notice the pattern? Every 2 to 4 years, Bitcoin price 10x's. So by the time of 2025, expect a $300,000 Bitcoin price. Send it. And this just in breaking news, miner Hut 8 now holds 7,078 BTC, worth over $222 million, and it's keeping 100% of the Bitcoin that it mines. How'll be thy name? And before I break down next story of the day, ARK Invest Kathy Wood says big upside volatility coming for Bitcoin as on-chain data flashes green for BTC. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, all the major cryptos are currently pumping and in the green. It's about time. Bitcoin up about 6% for the day, trading just above $31,400. We have Ether up almost 7%, trading back above $1,900, while Cardano, XRP, Solana, Binance Coin, and all of the major cryptos continue to pump. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. ARK Invest founder Kathy Wood is predicting a big upward swing for the King crypto as Bitcoin's on-chain metrics flash bullish signals. That's right, in a new episode of the Hedge Funds in the Know YouTube series, Wood says that on-chain metrics suggest that Bitcoin is in the process of carving a bottom. Quoting her here, it does appear, according to our metrics, that short-term hodlers have capitulated. That is very good news in terms of putting in a bottom. Long-term hodlers are at an all-time high at 65.7%. That means they have been holding Bitcoin for at least a year. We've got some very strong holders or hodlers here. That's also very good news, although we might see some long-term hodler capitulation to mark the bottom. Now, in addition to on-chain metrics, Wood says she's also keeping a close watch on the Bitcoin futures market, which she notes is hinting at a period of increased volatility for BTC. As she shares here, Bitcoin futures are selling at a discount to spot Bitcoin, and during those times, we expect volatility. Now, we don't know if it's up or down, but you can see from the metrics in the piece that our thinking right now, or our judgment call, is that the next big bout of volatility in Bitcoin will be to the upside. Despite the optimism, Wood says they are taking caution following the Terra Luna meltdown, as she she shares here. Nonetheless, we are on guard. You know the Terra disaster, it was a fiasco for crypto. I think in terms of raising or giving regulators even more incentive and reason to come in and regulate a little bit more with more of a heavy hand than we would anticipate. And to watch this entire video interview with Cathie Wood entitled Inventories and Deflation, check the show notes below the video in the description. I want to give a quick shout out to iTrust Capital, the #1 crypto IRA platform with over $5 billion in transactions. When it comes to buying and selling crypto, tax-free, look no further than iTrust. You can buy and sell 25 plus of the top cryptocurrencies, as well as gold and silver. There are no monthly fees and only 1% transaction fees, and they do offer institutional grade storage from Coinbase custody, so you can know your crypto is safe and secure. And you can get started today with only $1,000 to open up your account. And if you do get started today, you'll get a $100 reward in Bitcoin for funding your account. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right down below, and let's get this crypto tax-free. And before I break down next story of the day, Bitcoin will hit $100,000 when this bear market ends, according to these top analysts. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just under $1.3 trillion with $64.5 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The current Bitcoin dominance is 46.4%, with the Ether dominance at 17.9%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have ZEC leading the pack, up 17%, but still trading at virtually nothing, followed by Helium, up about 16%. Trading at $10.85, followed by Theta, up 13%, trading at $1.34. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, you can see Waves up 51.1%, HNT up 25.3%, and T up 19.2%, with the biggest losers being Luna, Hex, and Luna Classic. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 13 out of 100 in extreme fear. Yesterday a 10, last week a 10, and last month a 23 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That could be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence, predicts the King crypto will hit six figures by 2025 and says that he expects the crypto market to flourish as a revive bull market. We also have popular trader Credible Crypto, who shares McGlone's fearless forecast. Last month, Credible Crypto published an updated forecast for the Bitcoin price trajectory, pointing to Bitcoin hitting that target. In his assessment, McGlone says Bitcoin's strong reversal is just getting started. The current bear market reflects the most dramatic inflation over the past 4 decades. Nonetheless, he emphasized that once the bear market ends, Bitcoin would skyrocket and become the most valuable asset in the world. Send it. Quoting McGlone here, I expect Bitcoin to be the first asset to resume its outperformance trajectory, and as an increasing number of voices warn of a significant Bitcoin decline, bullish viewpoints remain limited to the long term because of macroeconomic factors. And as we all know, Bitcoin had a rough start to this year, but analysts still believe it will reach $100,000. It is not a question of if, the only question is when. Now, despite the recent price declines, many market observers remain hopeful that the King crypto will soon surpass that six-figure threshold, albeit with differing perspectives as to when this would occur. Now let's discuss Deutsche Bank's survey showing Bitcoin hitting $100,000. A recent study by Deutsche Bank revealed that approximately 25% of Bitcoin investors predict that the King crypto's price would surpass $100,000 within 5 years. McGlone also evaluated the recent shift in opinion on the largest crypto in the world. He was questioned why it would become a riskier asset after behaving for so long as a safe inflation hedge. The Bloomberg analyst responded to the query by stating that this upswing is merely the ripening of a young technology an asset. He notes that Bitcoin's 260-day volatility is comparable to that of Tesla and Amazon in 2009 and gold in 1980. And speaking of gold, Goldman Sachs Group predicts that Bitcoin will continue to grab the market share from the precious metal as a result of the greater use of crypto assets, making the frequently cited price prediction of $100,000 a possibility. We also have the CEO of crypto financing company Nexo predicting that Bitcoin would reach $100,000 within a year, 3 years earlier than McGlone's forecast. That's right, Antonio Trenchev told CNBC that he believes the most sought-after crypto will surpass $100,000 within a year. We also have Tim Draper, who I previously covered in a recent episode, predicting a $250,000 Bitcoin price this year by the end of the year or by early next year. The latest. Let me know if you agree or disagree with these crypto analysts. And before I break down our final story of the day, Fidelity's macro chief modifies the stock-to-flow model and predicts $140,000 Bitcoin price by 2025. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,200 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And of course, you can follow me on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify to iTunes to Google Play. And if you're listening to the pod, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at cryptonewsalerts.net for the full premium experience with video. We're currently receiving over 500,000 downloads per month, so I want to say I greatly appreciate your continued support. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to plug in and follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Jurrien Timmer, Director of Global Macro at asset management firm Fidelity Investments, recently shared a modified version of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model, dubbed the S-curve model. And using the model, he predicted that the Bitcoin price could reach $144,000 within the next 3 years. That's right, the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model is a popular forecast chart used to determine the price of Bitcoin by dividing its existing circulating supply by the annual production of the asset. Now, this model was created by quant analyst Plan B. Timmer mentioned that he created the S-curve model as a result of his dissatisfaction with the principle that the stock-to-flow model works with scarcity being a primary driving force for the Bitcoin price. Hence, he built the S-curve model to explain and model Bitcoin's unique combination of exponential network growth and built-in scarcity. And in building his model, Timmer combined the mobile phone S-curve and the internet adoption S-curve. This brought the total models he used to 3 models, where the last one is the new model. Each model has a price prediction along with it. And as the mobile phone adoption curve seems more feasible, it portrayed the best price prediction of approximately $144,000 per Bitcoin by 2025. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. He further noted that as the end of the maximum 21 million supply of Bitcoin approaches, the fourth halving of the coin might have less effect on the price. And while Timmer said he is long-term bullish on Bitcoin, the current price of Bitcoin and the general downtrend in crypto assets does not suggest a likely spike in the price anytime soon. And checking out his Twitter storm here, it is time for a fresh take on Bitcoin supply-demand dynamics. Take a look at this chart first, and we'll dive in. He continues, when I first went down the Bitcoin rabbit hole in late 2020, one of the first things I delved into was Plan B stock-to-flow model. I'm oversimplifying, but it is essentially a power regression curve of Bitcoin against the so-called inflation rate. And this thread is extremely detailed, and I highly suggest you read it all through thoroughly. In fact, I'll include it in the show notes below the video in the description. But here is his conclusion. I remain bullish on Bitcoin as an aspiring store of value in a world of ongoing financial repression. But the above exercise is a good reminder that we should always revisit our assumptions, especially when the price action deviates from expectations. Investing is a dynamic process, and investing in Bitcoin is no exception. So there you have it. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. Bitcoin price snaps its longest losing streak in history. I shared with you the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week, as well as ARK Invest Kathy Wood says big upside volatility coming for Bitcoin as on-chain data flashes green for BTC. Also in today's show, I shared some bullish price predictions coming from top analysts predicting $100,000 plus Bitcoin price, as well as Fidelity'S macro chief modifying the stock-to-flow, predicting $140,000 Bitcoin price by 2025. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode. eCoin wrote, Aloha JV, great show, great flow. As always, finally got a green weekly candle close. Gonna see what's up this coming week for the king of all crypto. About time, eh? Go time for Bitcoin and crypto. Bring it. Our next featured comment comes from the Vosac. Completely agree. If you're not planning on hodling Bitcoin for at least 4 years, then you're just gambling. Got in 2017 and dollar cost averaging every 2 weeks since. Despite this bear market, I'm still up over 100%. Well said, like a true Bitcoin OG. Congrats on hodling and dollar cost averaging for the past 5 years. You are a winner. God bless. And our third and final featured comment comes from Dano, who wrote, in my opinion, it's just another Bitcoin hopium pump. Currently, Bitcoin is in a bear market. However, I do believe that Bitcoin can fetch $100,000 plus if a US spot ETF were to get approved. If not, it probably won't see anything over $100,000 until after the next halving occurs in 2024. In my opinion, the most likely scenario for $100,000 plus is in 2025. Thanks for tuning in and for sharing your perspective, fam. Hodl, and to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below.